Are you ready to plant your Echinacea roots, but you're not really quite sure how to get started?
Well, if you are, that's great, because today we're going to show you how to plant your Echinacea roots step by step.
Hi, we're Sean and Allison from Spoken Garden, and we're partnering with Eden Brothers to help you in your garden. But before we get to the planting, it's fun to know that Echinacea is a wonderful, beautiful plant to grow, and it's also used as an herb and helps promote general good health.
Now, Echinacea roots like to be grown in full sun, sunny locations around your garden, but they will tolerate partial shade. They like well-draining, nutrient-rich soil and consistent watering, but they are tolerant to poor soils as long as they drain consistently. Now, before we show you how to handle and plant your Echinacea roots, there's some things we'd like you to know. First, they're native to North America, specifically the prairie lands. Now, Echinacea, or also known as coneflowers, are very well known for their foliage and their flowers, and they're a hardy perennial that'll grow in zones 3 through 9. They have a clumping upright form, and they usually spread by either their crown growing out or by seed. They have a classic daisy-like flower that can either produce solid colors or shades of different colors, including red, orange, bronze, yellow, white, and green. Now, the Echinacea roots we're going to be planting today are called green twister, and they have a very distinctive green petal. This is a fast-growing variety that can have flowers that reach up to 4 inches in diameter, and it'll grow up to 24 to 36 inches tall and flower through the summer into the fall. Green twister is really easy to grow, and it has strong, sturdy stems that make for wonderful cut flowers. Also, green twister does really well in container gardens. It's a great pollinator attractor, including bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. It's also deer resistant and drought tolerant. Now, make sure to look out for botrytis, bacterial leaf spot, and stem rot, mainly due to overwatering and continually wet leaves. Also keep an eye out for earwigs, Japanese beetles, and aphids. When your Echinacea roots first arrive, make sure to get them out of the box and take them out of their packaging here to make sure and inspect them, make sure there's no damage while they were being shipped. These look to be doing great. It's important to know which end is up and which end is down so you properly plant your Echinacea roots. Here is the root structure itself, and here is the crown where the roots and the shoot will actually meet. This is how you're going to orient your Echinacea roots when you plant them. Before you plant your Echinacea roots, you might need to soak them 1 to 2 hours if they look dry, so this way it'll kind of wake them up. Also, you'll need to prep your planting area, whether in a container or out in the garden. Dig the soil down to about 4 to 6 inches deep, and the hole needs to be about twice as wide as the actual roots you see here on the plant. You'll need to make sure to space your Echinacea roots out to at least 18 inches so they have plenty of room to grow and develop. You'll also need to plant them at or just below the soil surface. You'll be able to plant your Echinacea roots outside when the soil is warmed up and the last threat of frost has passed.
All right, let's get ready to plant our Echinacea roots, and we're planting ours in a container, as you can see here. The first thing to do is to check your spacing. Now, each Echinacea root needs to be planted 18 inches apart, and we don't quite have that much space, so we're just going to plant one Echinacea root right in the center. We're going to dig our planting hole and loosen up the soil so the roots have plenty of space to grow into. The next step is to take your roots and orient them correctly and place them right at or just below the soil surface. Carefully backfill the hole. Lightly tamp down the surface around your roots. The last step is to lightly water in the soil right over the roots to help with rooting and to help trigger the growth.
Now, at this point, you want to wait to water until you start seeing the leaves and stems emerge from the soil. But you're not going to want to overwater because, as we stated before, Echinacea are very susceptible to botrytis, bacterial leaf spot, and stem rot. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to let the first 1 to 2 inches of soil dry out, and then you can water. Also, you'll need to keep up your weeding and mulch either in the garden or in a container like you see here. This will help with weed suppression and keep the moisture right into the soil without it evaporating, so the plant has more water readily available. Also, make sure to keep your eye out for those diseases I mentioned earlier and Japanese beetles, aphids, and earwigs. You can also start to fertilize about once a month with a general purpose fertilizer. Make sure to remove any dead or damaged leaves from your plants so you're not helping spread any diseases or encourage any insects to attack your plants. And the very last thing is if you're growing your Echinacea plants in a container and you live in zone 4 or below, you'll be able to bring your container with the plant in the soil into a garage or a shed that doesn't reach -20 degrees Fahrenheit to overwinter it. Now, if you need more perennial planting or growing tips, you can always go to EdenBrothers.com and check out their planting guides.
And we hope this video was really helpful for you in planting your own Echinacea roots. And from us at Spoken Garden and Eden Brothers, thank you for watching.